the first word presented by Dr. Pepper here. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're tuning in, though, you're definitely not happy about the 26-15 loss at AT&T Stadium by the Cowboys that put them at 500 on the season. Nate Newton, Barry Church, both former players here with the Cowboys, and you spent time with head coach Jason Garrett. But first things first, I know we've got a lot of fans who are wanting to know, where are you, I don't like to say putting the blame, but where are you pinning this game? Is it more Jason Garrett, or are you looking at the players on this one?
For me, I think I'm looking at the players on this one. I mean, we're supposed to have this, vaunted offensive line and all pros and Pro Bowls and all that stuff, but I mean, those guys got physically beat tonight. I feel like Dak Prescott was running for his life out there, off the edges too, and that's the strong point of our offensive line, is the protection off the edges, and it just didn't look good today at all.
Ed Oliver, Shaq Lawson, those guys came to play today.
Yes, they did.
The young Ed Oliver, first-round pick, had a nice day, 2 sacks, sack fumble. Lawson got him a couple of big plays in there. So, I mean, it's just a bad day. I mean, ultimately it's going to fall down on Coach Garrett. I mean, he go out and prepare these guys, but it's up to them to complete and finish each game, in the right fashion. I mean, untimely, bad plays, offsides, whatever you want to say. It's going to come down on Coach Garrett.
Of course it is. It always does. And the head coach, it's when they win, you don't really look at him for any of the credit, but when they lose, it comes down on him. And guys, we were talking, Cowboys on a short week, a lot of games, 3 games in 15 days, but the Bills were on a short week as well, and they traveled to Dallas. So you can't really put any of it on that, right?
You can't. I mean, they had a 4-hour flight to get here yesterday, and they came out prepared. They came out creative. Their offense was, you saw a triple reverse pass for a touchdown. You saw Josh Allen out there using his legs. They were prepared, and they came and brought the fight to the Dallas Cowboys. I was surprised, because I was one of the guys thinking, this is going to be a blowout win for the boys. They're home on a short week, but I was proven wrong. These Buffalo Bills came to play today.
You have to have 3 things. Y'all have heard me say this 1,000 times. You have to have a great defense. You have to have a run game. You have to have special teams that don't hurt you. The reason the Buffalo Bills have been successful this year is they play well. They've got a run game. They got their defense, and they have a number 2, a number 1 punt returner, and Andre Robinson. So they came prepared, and they came out and they ran the ball very well with the young Singletary. He looked at real juicy, making great plays and doing what he had to do. The Cowboys just looked like they were out of sorts after that first and fast start for a change, and they was out of sorts after that.
All right, let's look at the final stats and the numbers when it comes down to this one. Cowboys with allowed 26 points unanswered at one point, and then got the score at the end here. But what sticks out to you, Nate Newton, when you see this from the Bills?
Time of possession, 33 minutes and 18 seconds. When you have that type of deal and you are scoring touchdowns, that keeps your offense off the field. The Cowboys, when they scored 30 or more points, they undefeated. I think they only lost 1 game when they scored over 30 points. When they score less than 30 points, they have lost. And that's the same thing today. They just came in, they scored less than 30 and lost.
They did, and what stuck out to me was the turnovers. 2 for the Dallas Cowboys, 0 for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. From the jump, I was very impressed with Josh Allen. He came out, he seemed cool, calm, and composed. I even told Nate halfway through the game, I didn't like how relaxed he was back there. I mean, at one point he looked like the Statue of Liberty. He was just waiting for something to open up. There was no rush coming. He played a fantastic game, and the turnovers ended up being the key to their win this week.
Singletary, Cole Beasley,
That's what I wanted to talk about, was the homecoming.
Beasley hit us for over 100, had a great day. John Brown made timely plays. But I'm telling you, the way Singletary just kept running that ball, the way him and the old man, I can't call his name right, Frank Gore, the way they was doing things, mixing it up. When you cannot in this league narrow it down to pass or run, you have to go both ways. I'll let Church speak on that.
Yeah, if you got it as a defense, if you cannot make that offense one-dimensional, you're in for a long afternoon. If they're able to pass the ball on you as well as run the ball, let you basically do what they want to do, like I said, you're in for a long afternoon, and they were able to do that, whether it be Josh Allen's feet or Singletary's legs or Gore's leg. I think Singletary had over 100 total purpose yards, so they were able to do what they wanted against this Cowboys defense.
We are going to go now out to AT&T Stadium for immediate update now from Nick Eatman Eastman and Rob Phillips of DallasCowboys.com. Guys.
Thanks, Lindsay. I think, Nick, this crowd at AT&T Stadium stunned. I think we're a little surprised, very surprised at how this thing unfolded. I mean, 7-0 start for the Cowboys. They score in their opening possession for only the second time this season, and then to be outscored 26-0 by Buffalo. Shock?
Yeah, without a doubt. And when you're in school back in the day, and then the teacher is upset, that's one thing. When the principal steps in, it's another. That's what happened this week. Jerry came in and tried to light a fire into this team. It looked like it worked for a little bit. It fizzled. And this team is just, you can say what you want about coaching, and they will, and they have. These players are not playing very well either. And I don't think, 6-6, you're not a good football team. You're an average team. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. This offensive line was terrible in the game. That's supposed to be the strength. And I think that it just goes, and not just that, defense, everything. This team is an average football team at best right now.
You think it's a confidence issue? I mean, they lost their first 5 games of the season by a combined 22 points. I think losing now, they get a late score to kind of mitigate things a little bit, but to not have that comeback that you kind of wait for from this team in the second half, I think was really surprising. And you said it defensively, 5 of 6 drives. I think Buffalo scores points at some point with a missed field goal in that 6th drive. Josh Allen's legs, Singletary catching, running, and Cole Beasley comes up big against his former team.
Yeah, he certainly did, and you saw just that, how they used him. It really affected the Cowboys defense. But the kicking problem is a major problem at this point. I don't know if they're going to make a change in the coaching staff or whatever, but I'll be surprised if they don't make a change at kicker. You just can't do that. You can't get to the point where you're missing kicks. And if your kicker has to be on one side of the hash, that's a problem. And that's what happened here. But those missed field goals added up as well in this game. So all across the board, all phases, coaching, offense, defense, special teams, they got beat on Thanksgiving Day by a team that I don't know if the Bills have beaten a good team yet, because they still haven't, because that one wasn't one.
They improved to 9-3, Cowboys to 6-6. Finally, where do you think they go from? This is going to be an interesting locker room to see how the guys react to this.
I know that they're going to be in Chicago next Thursday. That's all I know. I'm serious. That's all I know at this point. I mean, they're going to be 6-6 and still at some point in first place of the NFC East, maybe tied or whatever. But who's leading them? Who's kicking? Who's playing on certain possessions, offense, defense? I don't know.
All right, thanks, Nick. Back to Lindsay and the crew.
Thanks, guys. I know a lot of I don't know what's going on. I read a tweet from David Hellman of DallasCowboys.com, guys, who said AT&T Stadium, he had never seen it that dejected. I mean, he said it literally felt like a preseason game.
What we've done is put Philadelphia, without playing a game, we're tied with Philadelphia, a half game up. The East is in jeopardy due to the soft schedule with Philadelphia, and we got some dogs coming up. Chicago Bears and Rams. Everybody's fighting for a playoff position. So, hey, we're going to have to refocus, reset, and go forward real fast.
We're going to have to. And I'm going to have to agree with Nick on this point that he made, that this team is very average right now. Like I said, on paper, you can't win Super Bowls or you can't win divisions on paper. And this team has proven to be very average this year. I can't really pinpoint on what it is, though. I mean, because there's so many faults right now. But we got to make a change in something. Something has to happen. Something got to happen.
All right, guys, this has been the first word. We're going to take a quick break, but don't worry. When we come back, we'll have head coach Jason Garrett, Jerry Jones. Look at the media standing outside the locker room. I'm hearing now on Twitter that there has been some loud screaming. We will have all the updates for you on Cowboys OT in just about a half an hour. So we'll see you then.